Hi guys, it's Ellie here with Collins & Co Craft, and today we are making this gorgeous happy birthday card. I say one card, we actually get two for the price of one, so I absolutely love this idea. I just randomly thought of it the other day and I thought let's try it, and this is what I came up with. I have done all 10 colours in the Brights collection, so I can show you those at the end, but for today we are going to make, move it out of the way. We are going to make the Bermuda Bay version. So I've got everything here that we need, so I'll move those out the way. So everything that you need. So we've got the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set, and I have used the Hooray balloon out of this. I am probably going to stamp the inside as well. I haven't done that today, but there's so many different options in this stamp set. You can just use the happy birthday, it's your date. There is a little happy birthday there that you could use inside. You also get, just looks like a plain line, but again, you could use that on your balloon. You've got a swirly line, which you could use on the balloon. Absolutely gorgeous and such a versatile stamp set. So I've used the Hooray balloon, like I said, and then I've done, let me just go through all of these bits as well. I've used the balloon punch, and I've punched out 4 of the larger ones and 4 of the smaller ones, and those will do both of your cards. I've then already pre-stamped, just to save a little bit of time, 3 of the Happy Birthday Hooray balloons, and that will fit the smaller balloon punch. We've then got the Happy Birthday thinlets. Let me pop that down so you can see it. The Happy Birthday thinlets, and that is what's going to cut out the design. Then we've got a piece of Bermuda Bay paper, or cardstock, sorry, and this measures 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, okay, and you can get both bits out of this card. That's why it's a 2 for 1, okay. And then all I've done as well for my card base, I've just gone ahead and cut an A4 piece of paper in half and scored it down the middle. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the first card base. Check which side you want to use. This one, if you've got a card base that's got a little bit of a mark on it, use that for that design. If you've got one that's not, go ahead and use it for the other one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 of the larger balloons and 2 of the smaller balloons for that, and I'm also going to punch out these 3. Okay, so the reason I've done it this way, I've punched, if you've noticed, I've punched on the left side of the cardstock. So that's why when I turn it round, it fits in perfectly. And then you just line them up and punch them out. Move on to the next one. And make sure as well with this stamp, because you're getting 2, you need to make sure that you are pushing down really well. Make sure you're using both hands to use this punch. That way you will get it. There we are. Let's set that off to the side and move all of the little scraps out of the way. And it's brilliant, this card, because you're using 4 of the larger and 4 of the smaller. You just punch both of them out 4 times, and then you've got that ready to go. So I'll move that off to the side. Okay, I didn't punch that very well, did I? On camera, tell me about it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the 3 Hooray balloons and sort of cascade them down the card. I'm going to put that one at the top, that one there, that one at the bottom. Okay, then I'm going to go for the big ones. There we go. And the 2 little ones are just going to fill in the gap. So you can obviously change these however you like, but this is how I've done it across all of the different 10 colours, just because I feel like it works the best. A couple of them, like on this one, I didn't have a full piece of paper to cut it out. Don't know if you're able to see that. Let me bring it right up. So I've actually not cut the full balloon out. I've not had to cut that off the edge. I've just cut it out and then lined the straight edge up with the end of the card. So I've not got to waste a whole full sheet of cardstock. So line them up however you like. I'm then just going to take some Tombow. And the reason I'm doing this card first in a sec, you'll see why. So I'm going to do a little bit of Tombow on the back of the balloon. Place it down loosely, just so that if you do need to move any of them around, you've got a bit of time to do it. There we go, let's get all these on. And I'm just loosely doing it. I'm imagining, the way I came about the card design was I was at a party when I was little, and I always remember they'd got the big net of balloons attached to the ceiling, and then they pulled it down. And this is literally what I saw, was all these balloons just cascading down, and I thought that'd be amazing on a card, and with just a simple little thing across the front that said happy birthday. Like, I'd love to receive a card like this. There we are. So those are on there. Quickly adjust them where you need to, just to make sure it's all over the card, and then just give them a bit of a stick so that they're not going to move. Perfect. And then we can set that off to the side just to give it a little bit of time to dry. Okay, this part I'm going to die out the Happy Birthday Gorgeous, and when you do it, you probably won't see it, so I'll line it up here for you. You need to line it up at the top half of your card. So this is how you're going to get 2 cards for the price of 1. So you're going to line it up across the top. That's going to come out and go onto the other card, and then you're left with the silhouette, the negative version of that card, if that makes sense. So let's do that. Bring in my big shot. Let's go that side. There we go. So line your piece of paper up, and then line it up in the middle. And you can always check as well, if you grab a couple of your balloons, there's going to be plenty of room there to pop the balloons on at the bottom. Make sure it's even on both sides. Make sure it's nice and straight, and then just send that through. Perfect. Move that out of the way. Okay, now this part you need to be really careful. So you need to make sure that you keep all of the little pieces, and you'll see why in a second. So if you just lift the thin lid up really slowly, and I've only left one of them in there, so I'm using my cheap ones today because I don't want to get them covered in glue. Pop that out, set that to the side. Okay, make sure that's where it's supposed to be, give or take. So bring in your card base. Oh, don't panic, they've moved. Oh well, I think it's going to be one of them days. I had the builders outside today, so that's why I've had to wait and film. So what we're going to do, we're going to place that on the front of your card and make sure it's on the right side so that will close behind. Okay, and all you're going to do is lift this out of the way, trying to leave all of the other little pieces in there. Okay, now this is the tedious part. So the way I did it, so I didn't lose any of the pieces, was try and pop them all out to one side near enough where they're going to be on the card. So I will fast forward through this bit because it's oh, actually it's not taking me that long. We're all good. There we go. Pop them all out so you can see them. You don't have to be too meticulous about getting them completely lined up, just sort of so that they're in the relevant place, just so you know which one goes where. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now I've got the pieces off to the side, I'm going to take this part, the negative part if you like, line that up on my card, and I'm going to glue that down. Just taking your Tombow again, I love this because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and making sure you're getting all of these little pieces. You might find the fine tip glue, and I have tried it, but it kept leaving a mark if like there was a little bit that had leaked out. It kept leaving a mark everywhere, and I was just not happy with it because it wasn't drying completely clear. Don't get me wrong, it was clear, but the colour of the cardstock was changed, and so I decided to go with Tombow. Let's pop a bit on these little ones as well. There we go, don't any of them coming off. Okay, shouldn't have done that over the card base, but you know, I won't learn, will I? So, placing that onto the card base, making sure it's even all the way around. Now, you could actually get away with making the card base a little bit taller, just so that it is a complete even border around the outside, but it doesn't make too much difference. There we go, making sure all these little pieces are stuck down. Okay, now the messy part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the back in the Happy Birthday where it's come from, and just sort of keep it as flat as you can. Don't panic if it doesn't stay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, there's 3 relatively big pieces that you can obviously see where they go. So what I'm going to do is take some Tombow and making sure when you're gluing these, so that fits in there, make sure you glue this side of it, okay? So I will probably speed this bit up now because in hindsight, which is a wonderful thing, if I'd have waited a couple of weeks and then I would have been able to use the multi-adhesive sheets. So what I'm doing here is lining that up into there, and I've just seen there's a little piece there that's come sneaking across. So yeah, you could get away with using, oh, this is not wrestling with me today, the sticky sheets. So you just line the cardstock and then send it through the Big Shot with the die cut, and it'd cut everything out with the stickiness already on it. And I know for in future reference, if I do make cards like this, I will be doing that next time, because this part is the tedious part. So if you have the sticky sheets, use them, because they are a godsend in this instance. So I will now fast forward this bit and I will speak to you again in a little while. Okay, we're back, guys. So I've just left the last two just because they normally, when you pull and release the happy birthday, they normally just come out with it anyway. That's what I've found. So all I'm doing now is just lifting up, using my little tool to help me keep the pieces in place, and just gently easing out all of the letters that we've stuck down. Perfect. There we go. There'll always be a few that give you trouble. Always. And obviously you want to do this as delicately as possible. Not like me, because I've made 18 of these cards now. Well, this is 19 and we'll make 20 in a second. So there's just that little piece that's come back out, and you can see where it's supposed to go. So just... oh, she says stick it back into place. Same with your happy A, just nudge that one over. Cool, I'm happy with that. So I'm just set that to the side, and I've just got a block out handy because that's normally when you pull it out, it's a little bit bent. So I've just popped the block on it just to wedge it down. So we've got these last two little pieces, and I always take this out on it because again, you can sort of see where they're supposed to go. So just applying a little bit of glue because these ones, this is the fiddly part. This is the ones that will argue with you. There we go. Just give it a little bit of a push down. And the last one. There we go. Goes in this little gap just here. Oh, I'm pulling out the other letter now. So it's never been this difficult until you turn the camera on, isn't it? Ta-da! So that's the hard bit out of the way, shall I say. So then all we're going to do is we're going to take the last three balloons we've got left. So we've got the one large and the two small, and we're just going to place them at the bottom. So grabbing some Tombow, and I don't know if you could tell during the sped up part there, but I'm running out of Tombow in this one. I'm having to shake it. There we go, that one. And so I've lined the middle one up with the T and the H. That's in the middle. And then the smaller ones either side. And I've done it so that the two smaller balloons are sort of angled in. Covering them in glue now. There we go. Lovely. I'm just gonna, oh actually we're nearly done, to be fair. I'm gonna get my hands covered in glue anyway. I was gonna go and wash my hands, but we'll glue this first and then I'll do that. So we'll set that one off to the side. And we'll bring back this one. Okay. There's plenty of glue in here, so it shouldn't be difficult. So what you're going to do with this one, and this is why another reason why the sheets will have come in handy, because it would have just been there for you and you wouldn't have had to have done the tedious and messy job of what I'm doing now. So all I'm doing is taking the Tombow and just delicately applying little dabs of it everywhere, because it is very strong stuff. There we go. Yeah, I would definitely be purchasing some of the sheets, the adhesive sheets. And another brilliant thing about this card, you can get 4 cards from one coloured piece of cardstock, and you'll have a little bit left over, so you can maybe do like a matching gift tag if you've done a present for them as well, so that the gift tag matches the card. There's so much you can do. It would be so easy as well to turn these cards into other themes. So over on my blog post as well, I will list a few of the themes, but like just changing the balloons to like pumpkins for Halloween and doing a happy Halloween, or doing them into Easter eggs for Easter. It's just such a versatile design that you can just change it for the slightest thing. So all I'm going to do now is place the happy birthday just to the right of that balloon there, and I've not done it straight on purpose so that I don't have to make it straight, because I tell you now it wouldn't be. There we go. And what I love about these cards, they're all handmade, so they're all slightly a little bit different. So that's got a bit more of an angle, the balloon's a different way, that type of thing, and so people will know that they are handmade. And I think that's one of the things I love about this, is that people appreciate that they're handmade. Okay, I'm going to go and wash my hands because I'm covered in glue, and then I will be right back for the finishing touches. Okay, and I'm back. So the last thing that we're going to do is I have got the Brights and Enamel Shapes in Bermuda Bay, and then I've also got here the basic rhinestone jewels. So all I'm going to do is pop the basic rhinestone jewels on this one. So I'm going to take 5 altogether. Just put one there, on there. And this is the perfect opportunity if you have got a little bit of glue or just a little bit of an imperfection to cover it with a rhinestone or the enamel shapes. There we go. And the last one, I'm going to pop, oh, she says, the dot on the eye. There we are. So that is that card finished. And then the last bit on this one, I'm just going to take the stars and just pop them across a few different places. And again, perfect opportunity that if you've got a mark, cover it up. And then I'm just taking a couple of the smallest circles and just popping them over so they look like confetti falling down. Okay, so those are your finished cards. We've got a couple of different colours there. I'll bring in a few others. And again, like I say, these are all of the different colours that I've done out of the Brights collection. And I have done all of them all together, but they're all falling everywhere. And then there's these as well. So there's absolutely loads. Oh, you can come out of the way. There we are. So I think these would be absolutely gorgeous as well. Like I say, there's other different themes. But I do love them and the colours are amazing. So if you want to head over to my blog, all of the details will be there. But until next week, have a lovely day and I will speak to you again soon. Bye guys.